All right, chapter 7, polynomial equations and factoring. Zach, let's just look at the front cover here. Okay. What do you know about factoring, Zach?
Well, it looks like it has an exponent.
What if I say 12 and the word factor?
Like these factors as 12, so like equals that.
Okay, so give me an example.
6 times 2.
Very good. That's the exact one last period gave me too. In the exact order too. It's like you're talking to them. Yeah, so factors are numbers that go into. So when we're talking about polynomials and factors, okay, we're going to be talking about things that go into it. Now, Eddie, polynomial, right? You ever heard of that word? Never have. All right, so let's break down the word polynomial. What does poly mean? Okay, number. What about polygon? Okay. So let's continue on. What does poly mean? Poly. And Mrs. Simonian is an English person. I am not. So she will correct me if I'm wrong. Poly. Anybody? Who's my English people in here? Gee, you're an English person. Yeah, you are. I'm telling you, you are. That's okay. You're better than me. Okay. I can't spell. Fact. Can't. That's why they made spell check. Poly. That's poly is octa, like an octopus.
That's 8.
Correct. So poly and octa. Penta, we're getting closer.
6,
Hexa,
7,
hepta,
4.
that's
Well, did we
quad.
start with what's mono?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Mono is
Okay, so we know that. We know that. Poly means, ready for this, Ryan? Many. Many. Poly means many. Like polygon, many. Now we have to figure out the other word. Nomial. What does nomial mean? You're not too far off. It actually means term. Okay? So polynomial is many terms. Make sense? Polygon. Gon means side. So polygon is many sides. Like an octagon, 8 sides. Pentagon, 5 sides. Heptagon, 7 sides. Decagon, 10 sides. See what I'm saying? Like if you break it down into like what parts of the word, like what do the parts of the word mean? We can figure it out. Make sense? So a polynomial is many terms, and we're going to be figuring out what are the factors of those. So we're going to try and take a polynomial and break it down into its parts. Okay, and that's what's going on the front page. Now, just to give you a heads up, this is about where I got last year. Okay, so we're kind of on track. Okay, in a typical year, we might get a little further. All right, but when we think about it, you know, we're not kind of teaching on Fridays. We are, but we're not, right, G? So we are a little behind, but we're right there. So don't worry. We do have the keystones coming up there at the end of May. Okay, so my game plan is to teach chapter 7 for like 2 weeks. Okay, maybe have like a quiz. Okay, then we're going to go into keystone prep, and we're going to do keystone prep up until the keystones. And then we'll pick up with chapter 7 again after the keystone. Is everybody clear with what we're doing? Okay. It's going to be pretty close. We might get into chapter 8, but it is pretty close to the end of the year.
I wanted you to say yes.
Yeah, I don't give definites. Okay. So now Mrs. Simonian alluded to this word, monomial. And G, you said monomial meant,
Mono means one.
and nomial we know means term, right? So monomial means one term. Okay, one term. Running to answer your question about the keystones, it's it's on algebra. Okay, so it's on this course. That's why we take it at the end of the year. All right, and then in terms of like what I'm teaching, it's on algebra. So I'm teaching algebra. So it's going to be on the key concepts of this year.
And what they have to do literature as well? Is that-
Literature and bio are next year. Okay. So moving forward with this, monomial means one term. Okay. Degree of a monomial, it's kind of funky. Okay. It is the sum of the exponents. The sum of the exponents. It is.
The highest.
Not with monomial. So you're thinking of the other ones we're going to get to. Tristan, we good? Do you have a book? Where's your book? At home? You're going to make me cry on my like quarter birthday? You know what that is, right? It's the birthday I celebrate 3 months after my birthday. Do you need another book? And we can exchange books later. You can bring back your book. You okay with that? Yeah. Okay. Back. Thank you. All right. Coefficient. The number in front of your term. All right, so this is just basic definitions. Bianca, I assume you need something to write with. Oh, you do? Okay. I was gonna say I got Sharpie highlighter. So. All right, you get this, Ryan? Ready? All right. Leading coefficient. This is the number in front of the variable with the largest degree, or for you adding exponent. Now, examples of monomials and non-monomials is this, okay? So monomials are one term, okay? We're gonna get into how do I determine like what is a term or how many terms there are. So Vinny, I'm talking about one term. One term. You see that? Watch this. Not one term. You see the difference, Vinny? Kind of makes sense to you? You're like, ah, it's easy. One term. There's one thing there. Cassidy, see that? How many things would you say are here? See, you're already learning. Okay. Mateo, you ready for this? Monomial. Got that? Not a monomial. You Gucci? No book? Do you need a book? Can we exchange books later? Can you bring okay. Zach? Zach's like, can I have a new seat? Right. All right. So to find the degree of a monomial, we add the exponents, okay? So let's start here with B. I think B is pretty simple. The degree for B is what? Ms. Salazar, what would you say? So what are my exponents in B? And that's a coefficient, so 3, right? You see another exponent?
Yes.
What's 3 plus 3? You okay with that?
Yes.
All right, let's go to A. Ryan, what's my exponent in A? Very good. That's your degree. Okay? Eddie, C, 3. Very good. How'd you know it was 3? That's a 1. So we do 1 plus 3. 4. Okay? So we have a 3 and then we have that 1, right? So we can't forget about that 1. It's the 1 above the X. It's understood to be there. Okay? So we got that 3, but then you also have that 1. Now, Dan, this one's very easy. D, what do you got?
0.
Perfect. Now, how did you know it was 0? That's exactly it. There's no variable. All right, so it's the exponents of the variable. So if there are no variables, it's 0. Okay? The ones that are tricky are like C because there's no 1 up there with the X, but it's understood to be there. Your turn. You guys try and find the degrees. What? What side? Huh. Yeah, I do have to pick one of those. It's just difficult because there's not everybody.
You finished, Rob?
No,
I think he answered my question.
Brian's like, I forgot a pencil. You have a pencil?
But he didn't have.
But you asked to borrow my pen.
I didn't hear how.
Got apple juice on it,
Oh, wait.
and then he sniffed the book to make sure it was apple,
And yesterday it was his wet backpack.
which was from a result of the apple juice. And this
Oh,
is
it
going
was
on
apple
YouTube.
juice.
This is going to be on YouTube. Because that's what I do with my lessons. Yeah, it's gonna get like 3 views. And like YouTube might like, and that's gonna be on YouTube, and your mom's gonna know you set it up. Okay. I don't know. Maybe one day I can just like push play and not teach. You know, it'd be nice. It's just like push the button.
You
Like,
think you're gonna blow up?
no, I mean, if you guys were all like watching it and upvoting it, which would be nice. But you don't hit the like button, bro. You don't subscribe and like. From August, there's gonna be a lot of good now.
No, it was helping.
Unreal.
Get encouraging.
You know, that encourages me? Picking on Ryan for A. Ryan, what's the degree in A? Perfect. right. It's also going. Ben Hastings.
Yeah.
Ben, C. What's the degree of C?
I don't know.
Did I mention this is going to be on YouTube? Ben, you can do this. Ready? Ben,
Yeah.
do 2 exponents in C.
What? Sorry.
What are the 2 exponents in C?
3 and 2.
What's 3 plus 2, Ben?
5.
That's perfect. Perfect. Connor. B. What's the degree of B? Connor. Lily. 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 Eddie.
I'm running.
No, I got one. Eddie, B. See. What do you got? What's the exponent? Olivia had an objection to this. She got real aggravated. So it's
0. Or no,
1.
1.
Noted. The degree for D.
I'm not
Ronan, D, 0. Nicely done. All right. All right, G. This is like your jam. Math's not always your jam, okay? Sometimes it's like the peach jam where you're just like, why would we make this? All right? This is more like strawberry jam. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody likes strawberry jam. You don't like strawberry jam?
I've never tried it, but I don't know.
Strawberry's the best.
I don't
You
know.
ruined that moment. We had a moment right there,
No.
and it was gonna go.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You
Just
should
say
lie
I
to me.
like it.
You should lie to me. It's
No.
okay. Gee, here we go. All right, let's start out with the easy ones, okay? Binomial.
Wow.
So you said monomial was 1 term. Binomial is
2 terms.
2 terms. Those of you that struggle with binomial, I kind of think of like a bicycle, 2 wheels. Okay, I know it's not exactly the same, but it's not. Trinomial. G,
3 terms.
3 terms.
You got that? Yep.
Polynomial. Do you remember that from the beginning?
It's many terms.
Many terms. Okay. So anything over like 3 terms, we just kind of say it's like a polynomial. Okay. Just because we're not going to just like keep naming stuff, right? Mathematicians, kind of lazy. We're just like, all right, 3 is enough. Polynomial. Move on. Okay. Nobody cares. Move on. All right. Now we have these 2 in the middle, terms, right? We have to kind of, everything so far on this page is all about terms. So like, what is a term? Any idea?
Me?
Yeah.
Like the number.
I think you're struggling for a word for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the word I like to use. Parts of the equation / expression that are separated by pluses and minuses. So whenever you see a plus or a minus, it kind of like divides up your equation or expression into its parts. Okay? Like terms. Do you want to try that one?
Terms that are the same.
Terms that are the same. Now I'm just going to add one thing to that. Terms that are exactly the same. Now, this part exactly, okay, I like to put in because when you have like things with a lot of X's in it, some people like to think like, oh, they all have X's, they're all like terms. They're not. It's all about the variable and exponent. That's what makes something a like term. I don't care about the number in front or like the coefficient. I really care about the variables being the same and the exponents being the same. As long as that's true, they're like terms, okay? And we'll get more into that. Now, the degree of a polynomial, okay, and this is what Mrs. Simonian was talking about earlier, okay? Monomials are different. That's why they have their own page. They're kind of a little weird, okay? But a polynomial, that's what we're going to be talking a lot about. So the degree of a polynomial is the largest exponent. Okay, it's just the largest exponent. And then this is real big, okay? And that's why I filled it in for you. Okay, standard form is how I write my answers. Okay, and that's how we're going to write our answers here. So standard form is writing our equation or expression in an order such that the largest exponent comes first and then it decreases from there. So for example, if it's like x squared goes first, then your x, then your constant term. And you're going to see that in a second, Mateo. Okay? So here, don't worry, we don't have a whole lot left, Emily. Okay? Here, we're going to go through this and then we're going to add one thing at the end. So it says write each polynomial in standard form. So we're going to do that. Okay? And it says classify the polynomial as a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. We're going to add two things to that: degree and leading coefficient. But the first thing I need to do is this. I need to determine, is it a monomial, binomial, or trinomial? So when I was determining terms, it was all about the pluses or minuses. So let's start with C. Does everybody see C? If I were to kind of break this up at the pluses and minuses, does everybody see how I have three terms here? Cassie, do you see that? The three parts? So this is going to be a trinomial. Emily, does that make sense to you? All right. So I have a trinomial. Now my degree. Emily, what's my largest exponent in C? 2. So that's my degree. Now, standard form comes from me establishing my degree. So once I've determined my degree is 2, that term gets written first. So it's going to be written as 5x squared. Now I have to find the next highest degree. So after I've kind of like used this, the degree is going to be the thing with like the next largest exponent. Now we know 4 has an exponent of 0 and the x has an exponent of 1. So the x is going to come next. So 5x squared minus x, because I'm going to bring with me the sign in front of it. So minus x, and the last bit is plus 4. Dan, do you see how I wrote that? All right. So we're going to come back to the leading coefficient after we go through all of this. Okay. So let's go to D. Tristan, how many terms do we have? 3. So D is also a trinomial. Tristan, what is my largest exponent? So my degree is 3. Now to write this in standard form, Tristan told me my degree is 3. So I'm going to write that term first. And I'm going to bring with it the number out in front. So notice the number out in front is that negative. So I'm going to bring out negative t cubed. So if I kind of make believe that that's not there, the next highest would be t squared. So it goes negative t cubed plus t squared, because the t squared is positive. Ryan, you getting this? And the last piece is the negative 10t. Brendan, you doing all right with all this? Hey, Brendan, how many terms? So it's a monomial. Brendan, what's my degree? To write it in standard form? I only have one thing to write. B. Matt, how many terms do I have? So it's a binomial. Matt, what's my largest degree? So my degree is 5. And now I'm going to write that piece first. Notice it's q to the 5th is my largest. It's positive, so it comes out front. And I write my next piece, 8q. Bianca, you doing all right with this? Now, the reason why I saved the leading coefficient for last is this. Once you've established the terms, the degree, wrote it in standard form, the leading coefficient is very simple. Bianca, what number in C is out in front? 5. 5 is my leading coefficient. It is the number that is in front of my largest degree. Cassidy, what about D? It's a little tricky, but I think you can do it. D. So what's the number out in front? So what's out in front of that t cubed? A negative, right? So what number can I put in front of that? 1. So it's negative 1. Is that what you said? It's okay. Sometimes I talk so loud I can't hear other people. The fact. So it's negative 1. Whenever there isn't a number out there, I can always put a 1. So if it's just a negative, I can put a negative 1. If it was just no number, I could just put 1. All right. Zach, what's the number out in front for A?
Negative 3.
So my leading coefficient is negative 3. And then Mateo, B, 1. Easy enough. All right, you got 4 problems right below that. Okay. See what you can do. All right. I will put the homework up on Schoology. It's not going to be anything crazy because, you know, this stuff's pretty easy. Yeah, I don't know what it is yet. All the classrooms is called just this one. I think the problem is either little here, plug it in. You throwing your book now? That too is going to be on YouTube.
He's done. He thinks he got them all.
5 minutes, we're done.
Got them all right. Doesn't need your pencil.
Pen. Ryan has the pencil, but he wanted to use my pen. Yeah, we're going to roll the footage back. And I'm pretty sure at one point you said you had pencil. All right, here we go. Ryan. A. Monomial, binomial, or trinomial?
Probably need that. Maybe.
You want the pen back? Binomial. Ryan, what's the degree? All right, Ryan, here. I'll make it easier. Classify C. So A is binomial, C is
Are you
Oh,
picture man?
I don't even know how to say that.
what letter does it start with? Monomial. D. It is trinomial. B. All right. All right, who am I gonna pick on, Ryan? All right, I'm gonna pick on Ryan. So degree. All right, what's the largest exponent in A? 5. C? What's the largest exponent?
All right, I'm gonna tell him.
You tell the nurse. D? 2. I like how standing up helps in there. Degree in B? Perfect. All right,
You might as well keep standing up, Ryan. He saw you grab your pen. But you might have,
you grabbed your phone.
feel like you didn't say.
All right, A, Ryan. Now we have to write it in standard form. So the degree is 5. So it goes 5x to the 5th. See how I did that? Plus 4x. Make sense? What about for C? 13 V to the 8th. D, my degree is 2, so I write 2x squared. Then I go to the next largest power of x, which is that. So it's going to be 2x squared minus 7x plus 5. Hold on. Just make sure you got it right. We'll be done in like a second. All right, B, x to the 6th plus 3x squared minus 16. You okay with that, Ryan? Leading coefficient, Ryan. What is it? What's the number out in front? 5. Ryan, sometimes if you stomp your foot, it helps. Okay? Keep going. Last but not least, Ryan. Number out in front. 1. All right. There you guys go. Nice job, Ryan. Okay.